put green castle on the map. I wonder if it'll ever happen. Who cares if there's a DePaul University here? It's gonna be me, right? I'm gonna put green castle on the map. We're having a battle, guys. The battle of emulsified body butters. I made and tested 5 formulas, and I'm going to share with you just observations about all of them. So let's get started. Bath Fizz and Foam. This is a paid formula. I like the consistency of it. It feels a bit moussey in the consistency, which is kind of nice. The biggest complaint about the Bath Fizz and Foam one is it is draggy. It sinks right in. It does have a very occlusiveness. It does feel like there's a layer of product on my arm now, which can be very good. It's just not anyone's favorite. The second least favorite, which I hate to say this because I love Keely, was Keely at Soy Shea. And it's very fluffy. I really like the texture of this. This was hard for me because this was one that I really liked. I don't know that there's any specific reason not to like this one. This one was much higher on the list, but I had to go by what everybody thought. So those were the 2 least favorites, and those were the 2 paid for. So then we move on to the freebies. So Rhonda there at Nelson Interior had a video not too long ago. This one was very, very well liked. It spreads so much nicer than some of the others. Once it's soaked in, it doesn't feel like it's as draggy. There's no real greasiness to it. My issue with this one is it is not very thick. And she will even mention that on her video, that it is not a thick body butter. So the winner is, I know there's only 4, but there's a reason why there's only 4. So the winner was Marie at Humble Bee and Me. She was pretty well hands down the winner across the board. It is the thickest of the bunch. Quite pipeable, I think, if you want to pipe on it. It feels the most luxurious. When you're done rubbing it in, it feels the best. It's soaked in beautifully. It's not greasy, but it feels like I did something to my skin. You know, I don't want to put a lotion on and then not feel like there's anything on my skin. I want to feel it. And then we had a latecomer, guys. I discovered Hollies. This is a dupe of the Body Shop's body butter, I think. And this was really one of the favorites too. It is very reminiscent of Marie's formula as far as the way it feels. It is maybe just a tiny bit more tacky than Marie's. I'm going to be making some more body butter, guys. I hope you stay tuned to watch. First up is the Nelson Interior emulsified body butter that I will be using squeeze tubes for. I use the smaller pitcher for the water, even though it has more ingredients in it, because it's going to pour easier. So I need to put some water in here, and then I'm going to add some glycerin. Glycerin is a humectant. Hydrolyzed oats. So hydrolyzed oats, I had to go get my phone, guys. So for the skin, it creates a more hydrated and elastic surface. Well done, Nelson's Interior. All right, so that is my water phase done. And I am going to weigh this. 932. Where's my pen? And I'm going to cover it with a little tin foil and get this in the water bath on the back counter. In my bigger jug, pitcher, whatever these are called, beaker, humongous beaker here, I'm going to start with that oil phase. And the first thing is jojoba oil. You may know that jojoba oil is actually not an oil, but a liquid wax. And from what I understand, it very, very closely resembles the makeup of our own skin. I read one time that it is the thing in nature that most resembles the composition of our skin. So jojoba oil, I love this in any sort of cream or face product or anything. Fractionated coconut oil. It's a fairly inexpensive oil, and it has a really nice skin feel. So I think it's a good choice to pair with a more expensive jojoba oil, just to kind of try to keep those costs in check without sacrificing quality. So now we're just going to put nice emulsifying wax in there. Nice and simple, nothing too outlandish here as well. One of the things that I really like about Rhonda at Nelson's Interior, if I'm saying that right, Nelson or Nelson's, I'm not really sure, I'm sorry. But one of the things I really like about her is she is quite focused on our price points. And she understands that the formulas that she shares with us, a lot of us are selling that. Cetyl alcohol. This is a fatty alcohol. It's a thickener, and that is probably one of the main jobs cetyl alcohol or a fatty alcohol has. But cetyl alcohol really does give a very nice end feel to the product, and it also stabilizes your emulsion. All right, BTMS 50. This is an emulsifier as well, but it imparts a tremendous amount of conditioning properties. It's certainly one of your more pricey emulsifiers that you can add. It's great for hair, it's great for lotions. It's just all around really good, but it is more pricey. Okay, shea butter, guys. I get to finally use my shea butter that I got from Nature Packaged. I am so excited to use this product. And I have been waiting for emulsified body butters to use it in. And it also calls for cocoa butter. One little disc. There's not much oil in this, so I have to be very careful that I don't overdo. Oh, that was meadow foam. I don't know what her original recipe called for, but I'm using meadow foam. Into the water bath. So while those are heating up to about that 175, I'm gonna get some of my cool down ingredients ready. So I have my phone back out because olive squalane is next. It is an emollient. It helps moisturize and it deeply hydrates the skin and hair and body without leaving a greasy or oily finish. It significantly softens and improves the texture of the skin. It also creates a natural protective barrier on the skin surface to slow down epidermal water loss. So it's not a cheap ingredient. I only bought like two ounces, I think, and I'm almost out. It's not very cheap, but it's powerful, and I really am thinking I'm gonna be buying more of this. Hopefully I have enough for this, and I do, just barely. I'm also going to be adding some dimethicone, which is just a silicone, and that is one of those things that gives you a lovely skin feel as well. Vitamin E. This is helping rancidity. It's not a preservative or anything. I think that ship has sailed. People don't really think this is a preservative anymore. Maybe 10 or 15 years ago, there was rumors that it was. Vitamin E also can help with the elasticity of your skin, and it's something about collagen. I can't remember exactly what that is about, but vitamin E not only protects your products and your ingredients, but it protects your skin. Win-win. I'm going to put my Liquid Dermal Plus. That is my preservative of choice when it comes to lotions. So that is all of my cool down phase. I was onto my next lotion and realized that I forgot my aloe. Here I was trying to be so good. So I'm going to put just a tiny bit of aloe in here. Ugh, so mad at myself. All right, and now I have to reweigh it. Didn't lose any water on that one. Back in the water bath. I may never learn. I am back. Both of them are about 175 to 180. I did have to top my water off with about 4 grams of water. And I'm going to put the water in the oil. No scraping needed. That's why I do it that way. I am going to hold on to this container. It's clean. I'm splitting this one into 2 cents. That's 136. I think I'm going to switch over to my whisk for a while. I don't know if I'll bring my stick blender back in. Probably when I put my cool down ingredients in here, I will stick blend this a little bit more. All right, well, I was getting impatient and I got a bowl of cool water, got it in here. It started off about 135. It is now 119. So in goes the cool down phase. Ooh, it's getting thick. I am going to blitz that really quickly just to get those cool down ingredients blended really well. And I need to put about 340 grams in this container, almost half. And so in my big batch is Rain and Angelica from the Flaming Candle. I think it might be a dupe, but I'm not 100% sure. And in the smaller batch, I am going to be doing Neroli and White Jasmine from Candle Science. My friend Diane texted me this weekend and wanted a jasmine lotion. And I was like, well, I don't have jasmine, but I do have neroli and jasmine. She doesn't know what neroli smells like. I'm not a huge fan of this, and I'm only using it at 0.6%. These are on Amazon, and the opening is quite big. I do like that about it, but I gotta remember how I did this. I'm just gonna do a piping bag. All right, let me pull this over so you can see what I'm doing, other than making a mess. I have my 2 little tubes in here, and I'm putting 1.75 ounces in each tube. And I really kind of have to tamp them down a little bit to get the 1.75 in there. Come on. Come on. Heavens. Okay. On this one. And then I have a cute little baby one. This is my tester. Okay, so these are just in little dishes, standing straight up and down. Let me put the ingredients in, or the fragrance oil right in front of it. I'm gonna do the same thing with my Rain and Angelica fragrance. I'm not gonna bore you with that. I'll show you what that looks like when we're all said and done. All right, so this is my take on Marie at Humblebee and Me's body butter. I'm gonna get my water phase going. And in my water phase is water. And I'm gonna put my glycerin. It calls for a lot of glycerin. I think Marie really likes putting a lot of glycerin in her products. I don't blame her. But 15%, that's a lot of glycerin. So DL Panthenol is a vitamin B5. Hopefully I have enough in here. Hopefully, let's see. Lotion Crafter's website for DL Panthenol says this. It improves hydration, it reduces water loss, and maintains skin's elasticity and softness. So that is why DL Panthenol is in a lot of our products. That is water. And now let's go move on to our oil phase. Glycerol stearate, PEG 100 stearate. This is our emulsifier. I actually learned about this emulsifier from Marie when she was talking about it. It is an emulsifier that doesn't give much of any thickness. Most emulsifiers are kind of thickeners as kind of like a byproduct. This one really doesn't. So I love it, and I use it in quite a few of my formulas. And then, goes up here in a second, apricot kernel oil. I did get this from the Nature Packaged as well the last time I ordered. I'd not used apricot kernel oil before. Alrighty, shea butter. Get this back out. This one calls for quite a bit more shea butter, which I love. This formula also calls for acetyl alcohol. All right, those are my 2 phases. Let me weigh my water. All right, everything is heated. Topped off my water. I lost about 4 grams again. I'm gonna combine them. Water into my oil. Again, just because it's easier that way. I'm not doing 2 different scents on this one. I'm just doing the 1 scent. All right, per Marie's instructions, I blended for right about a minute there. And now it's hand stirring. So it's kind of a painful thing, hand stirring this until it cools down. But that's exactly what she says to do, is just to stand here and hand stir. Painful. Let's see what our temperature is. 165 Fahrenheit, 74 Celsius, so I have a ways to go. Obviously below 122 because that's what Liquidermal Plus has. But I'm going to shut you off. I'm going to stand here and stir and maybe watch a YouTube video or something. Who am I going to watch? I don't know. And I'll be back. Heavens, guys. That took a while. I did put it in a little bit of water. I waited until it got a little bit cool because heaven forbid I wouldn't want to shatter my glass here. I'm going to go ahead and get my cool down ingredients in here, which I don't think I talked about. One is my preservative, Liquidermal Plus, vitamin E, and a lantoin. I added just a heaping dash. I used a gold shimmer mica from Micas and More. And I'm going to see if that's going to be enough. I just wanted a little bit of color. When I did my test batch, I don't remember what I used as far as color. It was way too much and it was just not pleasant looking. But I think this is just an off tan, off white creamy. I think it goes with the scent Amber Noir quite well. And I am going to stick on this for just a second. And that thickened that right up. All right, guys, this has been sitting multiple days on my counter as I did life. And it's just such a luscious, lovely texture. I am going to put these in amber jars. And I need a smaller spatula here to fill. So that's just over 4, but it does look a little bit more full, and I like that better. So I have a 1 ounce jar here. This is going to go on my table as a tester. And then what I'll do is this. I think these are like 2 ounce condiment cups. I really should probably get like a 3 or 4 ounce condiment cup. But I will scrape this in here, and I'll put like a little sticker on this to know what this is, because I will forget if I don't. But this is my refill for my testers. What do you think of the battle? I thought it was fun. I just really wanted to share my impressions with some of those different formulas and the goods and the bads. And I think they were all fine. It's not like any of them were horrible. It's just some were more well received than others. I do have I grabbed some testers of the Rain and Angels, and I have a tiny little neroli and jasmine. Now, I don't like the smell of this, honestly. And it is, I think I've sold one at a craft show. It's so strong. And I think I remember I did not even put 1% of this in there. It is a very strong scent. But Rain and Angels is a lovely scent. It's a Rain and Angelica type, I think. So this is like my tester that I have on my table. It is like a luxurious lotion. I hate these little tubes, so I haven't had a chance to test this in like a pump top. I just don't like labeling the tubes. The tubes themselves are fine. Even filling them, they're kind of a pain. It's still fine. I just don't like labeling these. So if you have a trick on labeling these tapered tubes, I would love that. So the winner, Marie. So this is my Amber Noir. I have it in the amber jar. I like this label better. So this is my older, you may have seen the video. It's my most popular video, actually. of my body butter video. And I like the label going around the side better. So I will switch those probably when it comes time. I'm down to like 1 or 2 of these. These are not on my website, guys, and maybe by the time this airs, maybe they will be. Thank you, Marie, for the wonderful recipe that you shared with us and just your overall generosity, as well as everybody else that I mentioned on here. I am going to link all of the channels or all of the websites, whatever I can find, so you can find these yourself and give them a go if you want. It's something I've been thinking about doing for a long time. And I've said before on here, I'm not a great formulator. I'm a mediocre formulator. I will take a formula and change the crap out of it, and I feel very comfortable doing that. A formula from scratch. I think the time I tried it a couple years ago, I overwhelmed myself with the process, and I've just been gun shy about starting that process all over again. It's not something I enjoy. I enjoy making. I'm not going to apologize for that. I enjoy making. I will tweak the crap out of any recipe you want to give me. But anyway, that's just me, guys. What are you? Are you formulators? I know some of you are. I know a lot of you are. And I appreciate you not, what is the term, giving me shade. I appreciate that nobody really gives me a hard time on here. I've never had anybody give me a hard time about that. It just kind of dawned on me. Everybody's been so generous to me and just understanding and helpful and all that good stuff. So I really appreciate that. You guys, thank you. You deserve some credit for being kind. It's hard to find in this world right now. So thanks for being kind to me. Thanks for watching my channel. Give it a thumbs up, guys. That, excuse me, that really does help me so much. And I hope to see you next week. Bye.